Hi, everybody. Good morning. Just getting a little thing going here. And so, yeah, I hope everybody, oh my gosh, what day is today? I hope everybody had a great weekend. It's Tuesday because of the holiday. So we're going to get started and make a kind of sort of a little bit of an eggplant parmesan because I still have the beautiful eggplant here, and we did a fantastic recipe last week. And yeah, so trying to learn how to use eggplant more. That's kind of my goal. And so yeah, because it's not something I've ever been really a fan of, and didn't really know how to cook it or what to do with it. So so there's a couple different things that I've learned over the last week or so. You know, they are really, really good for you. They've got vitamin C, they've got potassium, they've got calcium in them as well. And so, yeah, so really, really great stuff. So, so we did a really awesome sesame ginger last week. I can't remember when, sometime last week. And that turned out so good. It was just like what you would get in an Asian restaurant, and with the sesame ginger sauce. And so it was really, really good. So yeah, so I'm just looking here. I don't know, I'm not sure why, but my screen is very dark for some reason. And I'm pretty sure my battery's not low, but for some reason it's really, oh, maybe that helped. Look at, right when I said that, the sun came out. Oh my gosh. Now I know what it is. Good morning, Jane. That is so bizarre. As soon as I said everything was dark, the sun came out. Isn't that awesome? Gotta love that kind of manifestation. So, yeah, I heard that it's supposed to get really stormy, and I'm not sure. I kind of heard that it was passing us or something. But that's very interesting with the lighting, because when the sun came out, everything lit up. And so I guess I'm so used to, it's been such a great sunny summer that I'm so used to the light in the camera being bright, and I didn't realize it was because of the sun. So that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to work with the lighting on there. Hey Darlene, good morning. And Kathy, hi, good morning. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, Terry, so nice to see you. Everybody's here. It's so awesome. So yeah, so we're doing something with the eggplant today, and we're going to we're just going to start with sauteing some onions and some carrots, and I'm pretty sure I saw Minette come on there too. So hi, good morning everybody. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. You know, I mean, a quiet one, I'm sure, for everyone. My sister-in-law invited us over, and that was like the first time I've been out at anyone's house since March. So yeah, definitely limiting the socializing, that's for sure. And so we'll see how things go. Hopefully everybody is doing really well and staying, you know, super safe. And so what I have in my pan here is just a little bit of water, and I can tell, you know, I think that's like way too many carrots, but I can tell that the we need to add a little bit more water. And okay, so probably, I don't want to overload it too much with carrots because, you know, I mean, carrots are really good for you, and everybody knows that they're beta carotene, good for your eyes and all that, but they can be sweet, and I don't want this to be too sweet, because I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go with the eggplant. Oh, you're slippery, sliding around everywhere. Good morning. So, yeah, so these are really interesting creatures. I definitely want to, there's another thing that I learned that you can do with these, and you can slice them and put some salt on both sides, and what the salt does is it draws out the moisture, and so that they don't go so mushy. And so you would put salt on them, and the longer you leave it, the more it draws. So if you leave it for like half hour, even an hour, with a little bit of salt on both sides, then it draws it out, and then you wipe the salt off and the moisture out that the salt drew off, and then they don't get as mushy, and then you can cook them in the oven, you know, kind of like roasting, but maybe not, 350, 375, probably 375, you know, for about 20 minutes, and then flip it over, and then that way they're supposed to retain their firmness, you know, and kind of be like a, well, not like a French fry or anything, but, you know, like a nice crispy. So I was going to do that, but you guys can't actually watch me put something in the oven and then sit there for 20 minutes for it to cook. So I didn't do that, although I am going to try it offline. I'll try it because I think that would be something I would really like, is for these guys to be crispier, because they kind of do go to mush depending on what you do with them. And in this case, it's not going to matter because it's going to be like a kind of a sort of, oops, good thing the dog likes them. It's going to be like an eggplant parmesan sort of lasagna-ish dish. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm not too worried about it getting mushy, because we're going to get mushy anyways. But the rest of this, that's what I'll do. I will actually, you know, slice it, and not too thin either, because you want it to retain the firmness. So you want to slice it about an inch, you know, along, and then you would salt it. Like, actually, I can just do that here since I'm going to do it anyway. And that might be less than an inch, maybe a little thicker. And so we can go like this, and then put the salt on it to draw out the moisture, so that when we put it in the oven, it's going to be, it's not going to go mushy. So I'm just going to actually pop this over here out of the way and do that after, because we're going to do a couple things and I need my spot here. So, hey Maple, hi. Hi everybody, it's so nice to see everybody here. Okay, so we're going to get this going, and we're going to add a little bit of cayenne to it and get that flavoring in. Cayenne's so good for circulation, so good for, oh my gosh, circulation, help with blood pressure, helps with cholesterol, helps with all kinds of things. This is the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't shake over your steam. You should never do that. And I just have a little bit left in here. But ideally, you know, for most professional cooks, what they do is they pour it in their hand and then they put it in, so that you don't get steam in your spice jar. And unfortunately, I didn't do that. And we're down to the last bit, so I'm not going to worry about it now. But in the future, you know, that's probably the way to be doing things. There's Manek. Oh, I see her. So, yeah, so we're going to do that and cook this down. And while we're at it, we're going to add a little bit of turmeric, because turmeric's so good for you. It has all the anti-inflammatory properties. It has curcumin in it, and you know, so that's the part with the anti-inflammatory. So it's really good, helpful for arthritis or any kind of aches and pains. It is a little bit bitter when you add things to it, or when you add it to things. It has a bit of a bitter flavor, so you want to watch that depending on what you're making, because it can change the taste. And of course, it dyes everything a beautiful yellowy orange. So we have the turmeric in here, and then what we're going to do is, I sprinkled it on my spoon. When you're using turmeric, you should always add some pepper, black pepper, because the black pepper helps to activate the curcumin, or the turmeric actually. It helps to activate it and make it more like bioavailable for the turmeric to be absorbed into your body, to help you with aches and pains and arthritis, and to enhance the inflammatory. I just realized I've got everything pushed back here. knock everything over. Can you guys see better now? Okay. I don't know how I did that, but I kind of had my cutting board and everything kind of the other way. So I kind of cleaned things off and changed things around. And so anyways, I think you can see what's going on now. So yeah, I didn't see any comments that you couldn't see what I'm doing. So hopefully you can. Okay, so we're going to add, to make it sort of Parmesan-y-ish, I don't know if it's Italian. I don't know where that original recipe came from, but we're going to add, if I can get the lid off here. I should have undone the lid before we started. This can does not want to let the lid go. Okay, so this is just tomato sauce. You know, we're just going to add that, for the Parmesan-y style and flavor. So we're going to add that. There we go. Super easy. You know, most of my meals are 15-minute, super easy, healthy recipes. Thank you, Darlene. That's awesome. It's good for me to know that you can see. Yeah, so a lot of my recipes are super easy. We're going to move these over now since I changed things around. Yeah, 15-minute recipes. There's quite a few on my Facebook, like a couple hundred recipes. Most of them are 15-minute meals. Super easy, super healthy. And this is a tomato from my garden. So I'm just going around the edges. They actually turned out pretty good, you know, considering I didn't really get them in from the rain on time. So a few of them are a little, you know, weather beaten, I guess you could say. But they're still really, really good, and obviously very organic and wonderful. So we're going to add these guys in too. And I'll just lift this up, put that on. Super easy recipe. So, okay, so we added the garlic, and we added the turmeric, and what we're going to do is we are going to thicken this up a little bit. It's sort of supposed to be, I don't know, kind of Parmesan-y lasagna-ish, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some red lentils just to thicken things up and make it more like a meal, you know, almost like a, not a stew. The name is escaping me. How come? Okay, so we're going to add some of these to it, and of course your red lentils, they cook up super fast. We're going to add half a cup. And so they're really, I must have rinsed this out and didn't dry it properly because we have some in the bottom that we're going to get out. So anyways, yeah, so the lentils are really, really good for you. They've got all kinds of vitamins and minerals, and also, more importantly, with the book nutritionfacts.org, Dr. Michael Greger says that they are one of the best things for weight loss because they make you feel full for a really long time, longer than most things. So that's good to know. So, and this is also going to add some protein, and so yeah, so the lentils, and I am going to just to bring out the flavor. I don't use it a whole lot, but I am going to use this. I completely forgot something else. That's okay. I am going to use this veggie cube, and for more flavoring, you know, just to give it that easy peasy taste. So actually, I'm going to break this up. These things mix better if you do give them a little bit of a crush rather than put them in whole and then they fall apart. A little bit easier. Okay, let's get that guy in there. These are the veggie cubes. They're available at Healthy Habits, so they're really, really lovely. I really like them. Yeah, so that's just gonna kind of bring all the flavors together. And so then when this finishes cooking, it's going to be, with the lentils, it's going to be, oh, I know what I was thinking of. It's going to be kind of like an enchilada lasagna without the noodles, right? So I better turn it down. So the lentils are going to thicken it up and make it so that it's got some texture and firmness. And then what we're going to do is we're going to top it with some of the Earth Island Parmesan. And so this is the Parmesan that has the granules. I really, really like that. It's just so amazing. And then this is the Earth Island Parmesan that has the shreds. And you can add whatever you want. You know, I try and stay away from dairy and cheese specifically because I tend to have a lung thing going on, and dairy is just never, ever good for anybody with lung things going on. And because it's very, very mucus forming and congesting. So we're just going to turn that down now. So yeah, so I mean, if you wanted to add, you could add a diet cheese or some kind of chow cheese or whatever kind of cheese that turns you on. So don't be afraid to do that, top it with cheese. So yeah, so the lentils are going to thicken it up, and then put a little bit of that cheese on top, and then kind of scoop it out. If you wanted to, which I don't use a lot of pasta, like it's just not something that I want to use a lot, although when I do, I use a rice pasta, so it's gluten-free. But if you wanted to, this would be really good to layer with the lasagna noodles if you wanted to do that and turn it into a lasagna. And so the other thing that is really good, and I forgot to say this, but what I was going to do for the top layer, is do the nutritional yeast. So if you do the nutritional yeast first and you just sprinkle it on top, I'll show you because it's going to mix in anyway. So you just sprinkle this on top, and you know, you can do more if you want, because this adds a super cheesy flavor, so it's really, really nice. Nutritional yeast is really good for your energy. It has the B vitamins in it. It really it helps with anybody that's not eating a lot of dairy or any of that kind of thing. It's really good. It has potassium, it's got calcium in it, it's got all kinds of really good things. So nutritional yeast is a really good thing, commonly called nooch. And then you would add this, and I think, yeah, this is brand new. I do go through a lot of this. It's just a really super awesome product. And you can get this at most health food stores, like Healthy Habits. It's gotten a little bit of a chunk there, so I'll give it a shake and break that up. And then you just shouldn't add it over the steam. Okay, I gotta go like this. Hands are clean, vegetables are clean, everything's washed. So you can just go like this. Okay, and then that gives it the nice Parmesan-y look. Okay, so what I would have done, I didn't want to waste your time and do it in front of you, but what I would have done is let this cook down and then put it in a casserole dish and then put these on. So, but to not have to do too many things that waste your time, I'm just going to do it in here, and then I'll put it in the casserole dish after, because while the heat is hot, we're going to just let the lentils solidify everything and soak up some of that moisture. So yeah, so that's a really good way of doing that. And then these guys here, you can just sprinkle them on too. And then we'll take the spoon out so it looks pretty. I always want it to look pretty for the pictures. And give it a little toss down on this side so it looks even now that I took the spoon out. It does really help if it looks pretty. It is really helpful. I'm just going to add a little more cheese in that corner for the picture. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and a little more nutritional yeast. It's always good to have fun while you're cooking because, you know, it just makes it so much more fun. And it's really fun to have everybody here on the Facebook Live and to be sharing ideas and recipes. And I love to get your comments and all your suggestions and all that stuff. And there's Monique. I thought that you were on earlier, but glad to see that you're here. Yeah, so that is basically the eggplant parmesan, and then we're going to do another little recipe here. I kind of fooled around with it a bit yesterday because I was asked to do a something with pumpkins, And so I did a pumpkin spice latte, and you guys, I was asked to do a 3 or 4 minute video on making a pumpkin spice latte, which I did do. And so you'll see that on, it's a pumpkin thing. I posted it on my website anyway, or on my Facebook anyway. So it's a community event, and so everyone was asked that was working with pumpkins to do a little pumpkin recipe. So anyway, that was the hot latte that I made yesterday. So super easy, 3.5 minutes. But I'm going to do something a little different here with you guys today. I'm going to, okay, yesterday I used, you can use either way. I used raw pumpkin so that you have all of the vitamins and minerals of the pumpkin, or you can use cooked pumpkin if you want to. I'm going to, the thing with the cooked pumpkin is it gets that pureed, really nice. Hey Rochelle, hi, good morning. The cooked pumpkin gives it really nice pureed, you know, smooth texture. And so the raw pumpkin is a little bit chunkier. It doesn't break down quite as well because it's raw, but it's also better for you. So what we're doing, and it's just a fantastic little recipe for this time of year, right? All the pumpkin spice and all that kind of thing, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and all that. So what I have here, this actually is a huge measuring cup, but it's like 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin, or whatever you want. This is enough for like 2 smoothies. And so we're going to take this, we're just going to add just enough water to blend it up a bit. And I did forget to grab the almond milk, which I will, but you know what? Well, maybe I'll do it first just so that we're kind of like in alignment with, just turn that off, so that can slowly absorb. So that we're in alignment with all the different parts of the recipe, because you guys know I'm not very good at giving you recipes that are easy to, I don't write them down. I'm hoping that somebody else will write them down for me. No, I'm not very good at exact amounts or writing down recipes. So we are going to add some almond milk to this, and what I might do, because I'm adding probably too much liquid to this, is I might just add the cooked pumpkin too, because why not? I cooked some. And so these pumpkins also, this pumpkin, this beautiful little pumpkin here, that's half of him, they came from Old Orchard Farm, Kirstie Alley, yeah, right, Kirstie Allen, same thing, just beautiful people. And so, yeah, I got some pumpkins and a bunch of squashes from her. And so I was using them yesterday. And what I did with this, because it's organic, is I actually cooked it with the skin on, so it would have more of the nutritional value. But in this case, I am going to take that little peel off for the smoothie. But when I make a squash soup, I leave the skin on if it's not a tough skin, because it is really nice to get that nutritional value. And so I'm just going to pour these guys out. Okay, but for this particular recipe, being a smoothie, I kind of don't want it to be too chunky, so I am going to take those off and put these in. And so, yeah, so you get the nutrition of the raw pumpkin as well as the smoothie creamy flavor of the cooked pumpkin, because these guys are amazing. And when you get them this small at the Old Orchard Farm, and I think they're still at Spirit Square at the farmer's market, I think they still are there. But when you get them that small, they're very, very dense, and so there's a lot more really you know, stronger pumpkin flavor and more density, so they're not as hollow as a big pumpkin, and you get a lot more out of it, like if you were making a pumpkin pie or something like that. So anyway, here we have our pumpkin. So all that's in here right now is pumpkin, and I forgot to move my blender closer. Pumpkin and almond milk. Move everything closer. And that's it. So I'm going to show you the rest of the ingredients here in a second. I'm just going to move this over a bit. I'm not sure if you can see that yet. You might be able to. Okay, so what I have here is I have 1/4 teaspoon of each of ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon. Okay, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon. I hope somebody's writing this down. And so that's our pumpkin spice. We're putting that in. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add like half a shot glass of maple syrup. So that'd probably be like 2 or 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. And where to go? Just a little bit of vanilla. And so we're going to put this together, and tiny bit of vanilla. What I did yesterday was I did I made it with a hot almond milk, and so it made a really nice latte. And what I did was I added a heaping tablespoon of the coconut oil. I'm not going to do that now because this is all pretty cold, and so it won't mix very well. So yeah, so that's that. And I probably, oh no, I did remember to bring my glass over here. Sometimes I forget the simplest things. Okay, hang on. Okay, so this is, it's a smoothie, but it's going to taste like a latte, except that it's not warm. But if you want it warm, all we did yesterday was we added some, place to put my lid, we added some of the hot almond milk instead of cold ingredients. So there we go. This, it's like a really nice combination between pumpkin pie and eggnog. And I'm not much of a fan of pumpkin pies, but I do like eggnog. So that's where the extra nutmeg comes in, because the extra nutmeg really leans it over more towards the eggnog. That is really good. You guys have to try it. So that's it for today. I look forward to your comments and suggestions and all that kind of thing. What we probably will do later on is work with elixirs and things like that to help protect your health as we're going into fall. And more people will be staying indoors, you know, and so I know I'm selling a lot of my cold and flu tea right now, so it works pretty amazing. It's a good thing for prevention as well as when you actually have a cold or a flu. It is totally amazing. I have hundreds of testimonials. It really does work. So yeah, so we're going to go into things that'll help protect you over the winter. Simple things too that are in your kitchen that can keep you healthy this winter. Anyways, okay, cheers. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 11. Have a great day. Check out my YouTube and my Instagram and subscribe.